this little E right here, go over here and look at the G shape. So we got the A shape here. Okay, these are sunken now. Here's the fret nut. So let's draw this stuff in here for a minute. Here's the fret nut. That's the reason we're playing this, or the capo, but not the finger bar. This finger bar, you can always just, you can access those notes a little lower. So you'll just do that. Fret nut, capo, you can't do it, so you have to use the long patterns. These guys right here, no play. Can't play. Where they end up, 7, 3, 6, they're right here. Okay? They end up over here. And that's where we're going to play them. Now, why is there a little E there? What is that little E? That little E is actually in the G box. It's outside of the A box because it's the very next door neighbor. Of course, if we wanted to put the fret nut there so that we're in the key of A, see how that magically made us in the key of A? We didn't have to do anything except move the fret nut to the 5th, because E is the 5th of A. This is your low E. Okay, but don't get me wrong with the tuning, because sometimes I get tuning and transposing the other way. Oh no. Was I supposed to go up or down to get to make the situation neutral? So be careful. I'm not good at that. So this little E is an E minor shaped A minor. Okay, just remember that. It's an E minor shaped A minor. That's where the little E came from, the G shape. Sure, we can play this thing right into the G shape. You know, if you want to play in the key of A and you don't want to deal with the open strings, you could take that key of A. Let's just say we're going to play an A down here. It doesn't matter what pitch it is, right? That's pitch. You know, pitch is a separate adjustment from key on websites where you can modify the music, like ultimateguitar.com. You can change the pitch, you can change the key. Okay, so you know, you can take a song that's scored in B flat in A, and you can change it to B flat. The problem is they will put it to A sharp. They won't put a B flat there, and that just psychs me out. So I find it, you know, not helpful to you know, have an A sharp where I really want to see a B flat there. That's just me. The piano players like B flat as opposed to A sharp. Anyway, I would think the most amount of sharps we're going to deal with here is the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B has 5 sharps. C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Okay, so that's the key of B. Now the 4th of B is what? F sharp, the key of F sharp. You could also call that the key of D flat. Let's not get too involved with that. But by the way, the pentatonic scale and the key of E flat of G flat is all accidentals. Okay, now that probably came out a different. So what are we doing? Why is there a little E there? Like I said, if we were playing an A, we could just go right into the next shape, C, A, G, into the G shape. From here's G. Or diatonic. Diatonic would be. That's an S5L with, on top, a G shape. something like that. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to play an A down here and then just go to the next shape up. We can do that. We can use the X3XL to get us there. Now we can go right into an S4L. But again, we're just running away from that on these open notes. What is the best way in commemoration of these open notes, and the way a lot of people used to play guitar and still do and love to, and we want to use those open notes? Look what happens at, we're talking about open note half positions in the A, in the D, in the E, and in the G. But look what happens with open notes in the C position. Look how helpful they are. See how helpful they are? Except for those other ones, if you just keep to the couple of strings. Okay, because if you're looking at an A minor and you're taking it down to the G, where are your open chords? So the open chords are even good for that too. So the open chords are good on the C. Now we want to use those open strings rather on the half positions, which are A, D, E, and even G to some extent, because there's one note we can't get on the G, which is the 7th. So G pentatonic's fine. If you're going to stick to pentatonic, that's fine. We want to do the diatonics too. So how do we do it, and what are these about? What I decided to do was, and these may be wrong, but let's stick to the A, because this is what we're talking about here. We've got our S3XL right here, right? 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy. Then we have a 7 root there. Now that 7 root again is this long pattern that goes 7 root 2 3 4. Alright, never mind that we got some notes are black, some notes are white. It doesn't matter. This chart is under construction. So what I've decided, if we look at, we want the 7 root to become more significant. We don't want it to become like, oh, I'm just going to skip over to that and get to the 2 and get on with my patterns. Hey, there's a D shape and there's an A shape. That's great. We don't want that. We don't want any explanation like, this is a split pattern. Oh, look, 7 root 2 split. That's so easy. Look at the interval, but it's warped. Oh, but it's warped. Well, guess what the warp gave us in the first place? Our chord shapes. Without the chord shapes, without the tuning warp, all the chord shapes would be the same. Same shape, one string up. But as soon as we go up to the tuning warp, that gives us our chord shapes. So since we're dealing with the